Hey, this is Skyfish6, and today I'm going to be doing a video of my Nintendo Gamecube collection. This is my Game Boy Player startup disc. Not really a game, but I decided to include it in the video anyway. Call of Duty, Finest Hour. Controls on this one haven't aged too well, at least not on the GameCube. I don't know about on the PS2 and Xbox. It definitely feels dated. Call of Duty 2, big red one. I actually haven't played this one that much. I remember it looking pretty cool, and I remember hearing a lot of good things about it. Happy Feet. This is not my game. I have never played it. From what I've seen of it, though, it looks pretty crappy. Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. I got this as a subscription bonus from Nintendo Power years ago. It comes with Zelda, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask, and a Wind Waker demo, plus a Wind Waker video and a retrospective video. It's a pretty nice collection. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, which I think is just awesome, in my opinion, 1,000 times better than Ocarina of Time. Some people are definitely going to disagree with me when I say that, but I just think it's awesome. Luigi's Mansion, my favorite GameCube game of all time. This really is a great game. Even though it's short, there's just so much to do and collect. It's got a lot of replayability. Madagascar, halfway decent movie game. You know, it's pretty difficult, but it's also pretty short. And like a nice movie game. Actually worth checking out if you can find it cheap enough. Mario Kart Double Dash. Haven't played this one in a while, but I've been a bit preoccupied with the Wii one. But I do remember having a lot of good times on this one. This is a pretty great Mario Kart. Medal of Honor Frontline. This is definitely one of the tougher Medal of Honors. I remember the multiplayer mode was pretty fun, but single player campaign was just nuts. Medal of Honor Rising Sun, which I think is probably one of the best Medal of Honors. It's pretty long too. It's actually 2 discs on the GameCube. Multiplayer wasn't that great though. Medal of Honor European Assault. The single player on this was kind of mediocre, but I remember the multiplayer was actually, still is, pretty good. It actually stacks up, in my opinion, quite well to the modern Call of Duty games, which is really saying something. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. This is a really nice collection. It's got Mega Man 1 through 8 plus the 2 arcade games. Challenging. Not as challenging as the X games, in my opinion, but this is actually the game that got me into Mega Man. I haven't been into Mega Man very long. Maybe a few years. Namco Museum. This is a nice little collection. It's got all the base collections, Galaga, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and then it's got the arrangement games, the 2 pole position games, and a couple unlockable games too. It's a nice collection. I like it. Mostly I play Galaga. Naruto Clash of Ninja. In retrospect, like when I bought this new for $40 when it came out, this was kind of a waste of money, because $40 for like 8 characters, but I was like huge into Naruto when this game came out, so I'm still kind of into it, just not as much as I used to be. Naruto Clash of Ninja 2. The reason I said 1 was kind of a waste for me is because just like a few months later this came out, and it had all the characters that 1 had plus a ton more for the same price. So I played this one a lot. I still go back and play this sometimes. It's better than Revolution for the Wii, in my opinion. Resident Evil 0. Pretty nice Resident Evil. Nothing really special, but it's still a good game worth checking out if you're a Resident Evil fan and you haven't played it already. Resident Evil, the remake. This is probably my favorite Resident Evil game of all time. I've played through it at least a dozen times, and it still scares the hell out of me. I just love the atmosphere that they went for this one. It worked out really well. Resident Evil 2. Pretty nice game, but probably my least favorite of the GameCube Resident Evils, just because, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a fairly old game, but it doesn't have the same kind of atmosphere as some of the other Resident Evils. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, my second favorite. This is a sweet game. It's difficult, but it's awesome. I've actually heard mixed opinions. Like, some people have said this is like the best one, and some people have actually, I heard some people have given up on it because of Nemesis. Resident Evil 4. The first, third-person Resident Evil, the gameplay is better than 5, but the story really isn't. The story in this is, I really don't like the story, but I love the gameplay. Really good Resident Evil. Getting down to the last few here. Shrek 2, another movie game. You know, back in its time, this actually was a pretty nice game. But I actually went back and tried playing it again recently, and it hasn't aged well. It just feels clunky. Sonic Mega Collection. All the Sega Genesis Sonics, plus a few bonus games in here. Love this. Sonic Gems Collection, which has Sonic CD, Sonic the Fighters, and Sonic R, plus a bunch of Game Gear games. Another nice collection, but not as good as Mega Collection. I think the best game on here is Sonic CD, by far. Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, my first GameCube game, the game that got me interested in the GameCube. Really good game. I heard about it being really glitchy, but it really hasn't glitched on me that much. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Another really nice game. Not as good as DX in my opinion, but still a pretty awesome game. I actually spent a lot of time raising Chow in this game, but then my memory card erased, and I said, screw it, I'm not going through all that all over again. Sonic Heroes. Pretty nice game. Not as good as the two 3D Sonics before it, but overall, nice game. Shadow the Hedgehog. I was actually disappointed by this the first time I played it. I don't really think it's a bad game like most people do. I just think it could have been better. I was disappointed by it when I first played it. Star Fox Adventures. Incredibly hard game, but also very good game. Different for a Star Fox game, though, but that's because it wasn't even gonna be a Star Fox game in the first place, but it's a great game. Hard as hell, though. Star Fox Assault, which is, the multiplayer is pretty good the first 2 times you play it, but then it just gets kind of stale. The multiplayer, though, in this is just awesome, in my opinion. It still is probably one of my favorite multiplayer games. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Pretty nice fighting game, although I haven't played much of it since I got Brawl. Although I do want to go back and play it someday. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Pretty nice standard beat 'em up. Difficult though, but it's a nice game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. Another nice beat 'em up game, although this one is much different. It's longer too. It's 2 discs on the GameCube. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Mutant Nightmare. Kind of similar to Battle Nexus in gameplay style. Maybe a little shorter, but it's still 2 discs on the GameCube. Nice game though. It's just they're all quite challenging. And Beautiful Joe. I actually haven't played much of this, but from what I have played, it's actually a really nice game. Really nice blend of platforming and beat-em-up elements. Maybe if I ever finish it, I'll check out Beautiful Joe too. Well, that's it for my GameCube collection. Until next time, Skyfish6.